everybody, welcome back to another Tasty Tuesday, and hopefully you saw last week's episode where we made crepe Suzette, and we put leftover crepes into the freezer. And today for Tasty Tuesday we're going to make a savory crepe dish, chicken and mushroom crepes. Now here are the crepes. I took them out of the freezer, and I still have more in the freezer. That recipe we did last week I think I made 17 crepes out of that, and they freeze really nicely. So if you want to see how we did that, go back and look at last Tuesday's Crepe Suzette episode. And today we're going to make chicken and mushroom crepes, and this is completely different. The crepes are the same, but the rest of it is completely different. So on my stovetop right now, I have 2 tablespoons of butter and 1 medium yellow onion that I chopped, and we're cooking that down, and it's actually just about ready. And to that, we are going to add 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms. Our onions and mushrooms are cooked down, and the whole house smells amazing. There's nothing like that combination. And now I have 2 cups of cooked chicken. I bought rotisserie chicken from the supermarket, but you could use any kind of chicken you have. Leftover chicken, leftover turkey would also work. So this goes directly in with the onions and mushrooms. And I'm going to let that cook together for just a few minutes. And while that's happening, we are going to start the Mornay sauce. Mornay sauce is a white sauce that includes Swiss cheese and Parmesan cheese. So to make the basic white sauce, I have 4 tablespoons of butter in this pan. Okay, our butter is melted, and to the 4 tablespoons of butter, we're going to add 4 tablespoons of flour and make a little roux. And next, we are going to add 2 cups milk, and we're going to do that nice and slowly on a medium-low heat, maybe more low than medium even, depending on your stove. So I have 2 cups of whole milk, and that's going to go in nice and slow, and we're going to make a really nice, beautiful, smooth sauce. Our sauce is thickening really nicely. It's taken about 5 minutes on medium heat, and you want to keep stirring it. You don't want it to burn, and now I'm going to turn it down to low. Oh, it looks lovely. And here I have about 2/3 of a cup of shredded Swiss cheese and 1/3 of a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. That's what makes the Mornay. In it goes. Ooh, that looks really good. You don't need to add any salt to this because the cheese is salted. Let's give it a taste. So, what's going to happen now? Ooh, pretty. Amazing. We are going to add 1 cup of this sauce to our chicken, mushroom, and onions. Wow, is it cheesy? And we're going to mix that all together. And then we're going to let it cool down completely because I need to be able to handle this. In the meantime, we'll let this sauce sit here. It will be fine. So this is our stuffing for the crepes. So I need to kind of use my hands. I can use a spoon, but I'm also going to need to use my hands a little to roll up the crepes. So we're going to let it sit here for about 15 minutes, and then I'll come back and we'll assemble. Be right back. So our filling has cooled down a little bit, and I am going to take each of these crepes. I'm going to put a pretty big heaping spoonful. I probably am going to end up with more filling than I can use for these 6 crepes. I was also going to tell you that I have done this recipe with mushrooms and spinach instead of mushrooms and chicken, and it's really delicious. So you're gonna roll it up just like a tortilla or taco or a wrap. You're gonna place it in your casserole dish. I've put a little bit of cooking spray in the bottom of the dish. Put it in seam side down. So we're gonna do that with all 6 of these. Now I think this is a 9 by 9 casserole. Of course, you could double this recipe very easily and use a larger casserole. My oven is on 350 preheated, and it's going to go into the oven for 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your oven. And the last one, I'm gonna come out just about right, maybe a little extra. All right, so there are our mushroom and chicken and onion stuffed crepes. Now, our sauce that we used 1 cup, we're going to top this. I might not use it all because it might be a little bit too cheesy. Is that possible? Too cheesy? I don't know. All right, that's all I'm going to use. I've got a little bit left in here. You could use it all if you want, but I want to make sure every crepe has a little bit on top of it. But I also want to be able to taste the yummy veg and chicken in there. Okay, so this is going into the oven at 350 degrees for 20 to 30 minutes, and it's gonna be great. We'll be right back. I just took the crepes out of the oven. They were in there for 30 minutes, and here's what it looks like. Isn't that pretty? It's bubbly, and the sauce on top is just beautiful, and it smells really good. So we have one more thing to do to this dish. In this little pot, I have a tablespoon of butter, 3/4 cup of panko, and a large tablespoon of dried parsley. I put that in the microwave, and we're going to use it as a little bit of a topper all across, because you know this dish doesn't have enough butter as it is. It's a very rich dish. A little bit of warning there for you. But, oh, how beautiful is that? I think we're going to eat like a queen tonight. Very nice. That, I'm gonna try to cut it here and show you. It's been sitting here on the counter for about 5 minutes, which I would recommend. Can you see? Now, it's not gonna come out, whoops, it's not going to come out in whole crepes, but we're gonna see if we can get maybe 2 at a time out without making a giant mess. And even if we do make a giant mess, that's okay. So 30 minutes in the oven. Oh, it's not sticking, so that's good. See if we can go, oh, look it almost has a bit of a souffle consistency. Well, that one's falling apart, but we'll go with that. Ah! We're serving this with some steamed green beans tonight. Chicken and mushroom crepes from France. Very easy. You could make the crepes ahead and put them in the freezer. I hope you'll try this dish, and we'll see you again next week. Have a good week, everybody.